Hello guys, hello. So it was 1 a.m. and I've decided to go ahead and make a YouTube video off of a game that happened earlier today. And the premise was that my opponent was playing and he thought he was playing fine, and in most cases he would. However, he found himself in a difficult position and he wasn't able to gather around, and I'd like to show you that so that way it doesn't happen to you in the future. So, as like a kind of reference, so you can wrap your mind about what I'm going to be talking about, it's not going to be too long, do you remember the old Wile E. Coyote Acme versus Roadrunner? And so the premise of this is it's an American cartoon. The coyote is always trying to trap the Roadrunner by doing tricks, and so he painted a wall. So whenever the Roadrunner goes really fast into the wall, he hits it. But as you can see, it didn't happen. And so what did the coyote do? He's like, hey, I'm going to go through this wall too, not realizing he's the one that painted it. And so obviously he failed, and then the Roadrunner insult to injury took him back. So that's the analogy that I'd like you to use whenever you're playing versus the opponent. Don't paint yourself into the wall, right? Where like you get yourself in trouble and then you try to get out, but you realize you can't get out. And so I'd like to show you an example of what happened when my opponent painted himself into a corner. So if you look right here, it's not the right one. It's this one right here. If you look right here, the opponent is at 7 cards and I'm at 8 cards. So it's round 1. So we're still very early into the game. If you look at the points he's done, he has 14, I have 12. He's about to play a priest, and he's about to go up in points. And let's see what happens. So what I do is, let me hit play. If you notice right here, do you see how he actually flipped over this the magic lamp? You don't want to flip over the magic lamp at 7 cards unless you're going to pass. So in my mind, whenever I see that, I think the opponent's going to pass, right? The reason why you don't flip over the magic lamp is because you don't want to give away your strategy. So you don't want to make it easier for the opponent to count. So if he doesn't pass at this moment, then he's making it very easy for me to see a strategy, because there's only so many cards in Gwent. So I'm going to count the points, I'm going to count the cards, and I'm going to say, can you make these points? Can you not make these points? So continuing on, what I do is I just decide to kill it with the lightning bolt. I'm actually saving 1 point of damage because he took 1 damage at lightning bolt, which means I gain 1 point. So what I basically am saying right now is I'm like, okay, my opponent's going to pass right here. He has to pass. So watch what happens whenever I lightning bolt. Because I'm playing, I have an engine right here and I have a 2-point card. So I don't have 23 to 12 right now. What I have is I have 14, 15 points. I have 15 points right now. 16 because I'm gaining another one. So my opponent showed me his magic lamp. So I go ahead and I lightning bolt it. And then my opponent decides what he wants to do. And let me show you what he does. So it looks like he's still pretty good. He's probably going to pass. Watch what he does right here.
Cards premium? Alright, which one?
I'm going to turn it up.
Alright, which one?
I'm going to turn it up so that way you can hear me.
Oh, it's actually really good for me. Does that mean I win the game?
Ha!
I think I win the game off of that, right?
I think I just win the game. Whenever he does that, I think I just win the game. And let me explain why right quick. He painted himself into a corner. 1, he showed me his magic lamp, so I know he can't make points anymore. 2, I'm gaining, even though he poisoned me, even though he bled me, I'm still getting the Crack City Guard, so I counter that. So all I need is 10 points right now to stay ahead of him, right? And so if you look right there, I have plenty of 10-point cards. I have the Philippa, but what I decide to do is I just go into because I don't think I show it. I actually don't show it. But what I do is I just go into a Dahlia right there, and I go into the 4-boy in the back, the formation, which makes 9, and then I hit right here for 11. And so basically, he's now at 6 cards and he's down a point. And so for the rest of the round, he painted himself into the corner where he's down a point. Because I'm not giving up the round. There's no way you can do points. You just can't do points with SK in this situation. 1, I have Philippa. I have Heat Wave. If he does, like, he's second wind right now. You don't see it, but he's second wind. I have Philippa. I have the Crack City Guard gaining points. So he ended up painting himself into the corner by playing that Savage Bear. You want to know what he could have played instead? Let me show you right quick. So if you look at this is the end of the round. He actually had totem the entire time in his hand. So instead of the Savage Bear, where he gave me like 10 6 points or whatever, if he would have just played the totem, then I wouldn't have been able to make it in points because I can't risk. Can I risk the Philippa there? Maybe. But like the odds of me getting unlucky are there. I could kill the Crow Mother. There's lots of options that I can do. And there was one more thing I wanted to say. Also, yeah. If you noticed, he might have been able to play the Savage Bear in that situation if he did not flip the totem. Because if he didn't flip the totem, I wouldn't have been able to count his points properly. So I might have played even safer, and then I might have played the 4 card right here. I might have played this card in the back, and I would have given him another free turn. But since he did the totem, I felt very confident in the round. So watch what happens whenever I go into... Watch what happens right here.
No, we're fine.
Add 2
Forgetting about
cards.
Crew.
He just passed.
So I told you. Remember that play when I told you he instantly loses the game when he played that? Like I could tell. Well, not the game, but the round. I just knew there was no coming back for him because my deck has such elusive points. It's insane.
And so this wasn't
Hey,
it.
he's not lippy, is he?
He just ends up forfeiting. So my opponent ends up forfeiting the entire game off of that. And it was all because of that one Savage Bear play. Don't flip the totem unless you're actually going to get out of the round. You know what I mean? Because you're not helping yourself. There was no reason for him to. He just did a priest. It doesn't make sense. And also if you are going to play slow, like make sure you count the opponent's points because he didn't count the correct city guard, he didn't count the melee guy, the mauler, because if he did, then he would have realized there's lots of cards I can come back with. So this was at the top of the ladder. This was at rank 1, which is at the top of the ladder. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. And if you're in that position, make sure that you know the leeway of what your opponent can do. Because I wasn't looking to trap him at 5 cards to 4. I was looking to trap him at 7 cards to 6. You know what I mean? I'm 3 cards back, waiting for him to make a play where I can just trap him in the round. It is so dangerous whenever you're going first. You have to make sure that you can get out of the round. So if you like videos like this, just let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.